Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for joining me on the Moonlight Legends, where we discuss everything supernatural. I am your host, Damian Knoll. And tonight is our weekly special where we have you, our listeners, call in and tell us about your own personal encounters with the supernatural. Caller 1, you're on the air. What's your story?
Hey, Damien. First-time caller, long-time fan. I've been dying to tell you the story. Okay, I went back to my parents' house for summer break in my junior year of college. While I was staying there, I couldn't help but feel as I was being watched. Anyway, one night, right before I went to sleep, I swear I saw an old man standing on the opposite side of the room. I looked away for a split second to get my phone, and when I looked back, he was gone. When I woke up in the morning, all the drawers in the entire house had been pulled out and thrown onto the floor.
Sounds like it could have been the ghost of a previous owner. Do you know about the history of your parents' house?
My parents built this house themselves, so there doesn't seem to be a reason for all this paranormal activity.
Huh. That is very strange. Let's open the lines and see what the other listeners think might have caused all the paranormal activity.
Maybe your parents built their house in an old forgotten graveyard.
Perhaps you picked up a spirit somewhere else in your life and it's been following you ever since.
Those all sound like a possible answer. Have you noticed any other paranormal activity since then?
No, nothing else has happened since I left my parents' house.
Well, then I suggest you look into the history of that plot of land your parents' house is built on. There is a good possibility it could have been a burial ground in the distant past. Next week, call back and tell us any information you find. Alright, next caller, what's your story?
Hi, I don't have a story, but I do have a question. I'm a huge horror fan, and I've noticed that there's more and more movies about people being possessed by supernatural beings through their 21st century technology. I've been doing research, but I haven't really found any evidence of such creatures actually existing. My question is, do you or the audience believe that such creatures could exist?
Well, that is an interesting topic. First, let's see what the listeners have to say about this.
Well, I always just thought it was just demons trying to figure out new ways to haunt us. In a sense, they're just trying to keep up with the times like an old relative.
I honestly thought it was Hollywood being lazy, just trying to make people afraid of everything.
If you think about it, it makes perfect sense. The devil himself invented technology, so of course his minions would be able to become a part of those devices.
What if these entities were like tulpas, and they gained their power through like social media and shit?
Do you mind explaining to the listeners what a tulpa is in case they don't know?
Well, it's sort of like an entity that gains its like power by being like spoken or thought about. Kind of like, Bloody Mary, that chick, she doesn't like appear unless you call out her name 3 times.
So, how does this involve social media?
Okay, well, like, I was thinking that it could be like either be part of like a social media site or maybe just like one particular post. Like, the more traffic it gets, the more power like it obtains. Kind of like, like a chain emo or like a Facebook post.
That's a cool concept. So the entity would be linked to this post, and every like, share, and comment feeds it even more.
Yeah, and like maybe it could even be like connected to like a single person's profile. So like the more active the person is, the more power he gets.
But if this is all true, wouldn't that mean we are potentially giving this creature power right now?
That's exactly what it would want.
Then we need to stop talking about
I
it.
shouldn't even have said
Calm
tulpa.
down, guys. It's just a story.
Well, it looks like we have time for one more caller before we end for tonight.